That's how I am too. So
Yeah.
that's good.
So I'm already recording. So, okay. You know, again, like no formalities, like, you know.
I'll be like, get all in a different position. Like,
Dawn, what's going on? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How's quarantine going for you?
I mean, it's going, you know, trying to make the best of it as possible. I have my sister and my niece and stuff that I get to spend time with still. So it's good.
I see all the videos with your niece. She's so cute.
It's the best. I know. When I saw yours too, I'm like, you know, we both have something in common. It's crazy how they change you. It like changes your whole life.
Well, I don't have a niece. I have a nephew.
I mean, a nephew, but yeah. No, it's not.
So yeah. Tonight we're cooking up something awesome. Orecchiette with grappa. And now this is the first time I've ever heard of grappa in pasta sauce. So talk me through that a little bit. Where'd you hear
I will. So it's a little take on, I guess, kind of like the vodka sauce, but it's using grappa, so it's a little stronger. It doesn't have the cream in it, so it's a little healthier for you, and a lighter version. It's not something you commonly see in Italy. I mean, we go there, my family goes in the summer stuff, so I haven't really seen it there, but I've seen it at a lot of different restaurants here, kind of done this way. It's I like it because I don't always like to feel like super heavy, but you still want that little kick of that, you know, that cooked out alcohol kind of feeling. So that's why I decided to do this. I mean, you could always add a cream to it if you wanted to make it more like a vodka sauce, but the grappa just has a little bit of a different taste than if you were to put a vodka in.
For those that are going to watch this that don't know what grappa is, explain what grappa is.
So it's basically just a grain alcohol. It's like a pure alcohol that you're using. When you want to get a good grappa, obviously, when you're doing this, because that's the most important part of the flavor. I have this one here that I did get. I actually got this as a gift from someone in Italy. So it's pretty pure. It's when you taste it, it's, I guess, like almost like vodka, but on another level. I prefer it in something when you're cooking or you're using it as another ingredient rather than just drinking it straight, but people do drink it straight.
What, besides drinking it straight like a shot of vodka like you would, do people put it in espresso or no? That doesn't go in?
No, not really. It's strong. It's definitely strong for espresso. Okay, so I mean,
no espresso.
If you're bold.
Got it. So what part of Italy is your family from?
So my family is from the south, mostly from Naples, a small town called Mercogliano. Mostly my mom's family, a little bit is from Sicily too. So
is that where this recipe originates from, or is it just something that you kind of picked up on?
I just like picked it up, but I did the grappa is from a family that was in the south, actually on the east side of Italy, but they've used it a lot there for a lot of different recipes. There's more seafood. It tends to be down in the south, and obviously pastas every day, pizzas every day. So that's why, you know, pasta, you can't go wrong making a pasta dish.
So let's get to cooking. Let's see it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to tilt the camera down just a little bit so you can see. And I'm turning this stove on. Put it over here so you guys can see that. I just have like a small pot on. I'm not making a big thing of sauce just because I'm eating it all. And I'm going to start with a really simple base. It's just onion. Move this over. I have everything chopped up too, so it's all ready to go.
No garlic, just onion.
No, you could put garlic in if you wanted to, but I like to really get the taste of the tomatoes and the grappa. So garlic would kind of overpower it a little bit. This kind of brings in a lot of the fresh tomato flavor, and that's what I like. I love. You could even do this with a fresh tomato. In the recipe, I just I did like a can of tomatoes, just like a plum tomatoes or diced tomatoes. But if you wanted to, you can dice up tomatoes and it would make the sauce really quick too. So you'll see, I have the onions in here.
Got the onions going. Now, for onions or shallots?
So shallots, I actually do like. I did a regular sweet onion. I did a half of a sweet onion for the flavor. Mm-hmm. But actually in Italy, they use a lot more red onion. That's what they use often. Yeah. And I like shallots because they're a little bit more mild. So if you don't want a really strong onion flavor, you can do a shallot and it'll cook right in so nicely. So I'm gonna let the onions come to like a translucent, so they're clear.
Okay, big words over here.
And,
it's a big words we're using over here.
I know. And it happens pretty quickly. If you can see, they kind of get clear really easily. And as soon as they
Good, sorry. No, go ahead.
No, as soon as they do, I'm gonna add half of the grappa in because I want that to cook into the onions and give the flavors the onion of that. And then the other half we're gonna put in at the end to really have a stronger flavor.
With that kick, yeah. So, how did you get into cooking? That's what I was gonna ask you.
So it's funny. I've always loved cooking. My family I was always around it. My mom, my dad, grandparents, aunts, uncles, literally everybody in my family cooks. I don't know if that's an Italian thing or...
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're Italian, you should be able to cook something, right?
I feel like you have to.
It has to be your like DNA and your blood.
Yeah, it's a natural thing. So I was always around it. I personally just enjoy it. I come home at night a lot, and even after like the longest day of work, when I feel tired, I want to cook. Like it puts me in a good mood. It makes me feel good. I like making them, even just for myself. I like making a meal. Like, I feel good about putting together a dinner and sitting down and eating it.
I cook too. Is it weird? Like it actually gives you energy. Like you would think like cooking like takes
it
away
does,
but it actually gives you energy.
It does. You know, like if you put music on and you just get in the kitchen, it just makes me happy. It literally is something that makes me happy.
Feel happy. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
I know a lot of people are so different. You know, some people are like, I have friends who can't stand it. They hate cooking. But for me, it's just, I enjoy it.
Those people probably just don't know how to cook, right? Like,
yeah, they hate the taste.
They would ruin just like
pasta water.
Like, you know, like.
Exactly.
So let's see.
I'm gonna put the grappa, half of this grappa in right now.
Got it.
And I would say be careful because it can start a fire very easily.
Really?
Yes, because it's the alcohol. If it gets too close to the flame, do you ever see when they do like a flambe or anything like that? That's how they get the flame. Yeah, so you have to be really careful because a few times I've definitely came close to catching like things on.
Up? That's not good.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun right now.
Do you drink while you cook?
I do.
Okay.
I should have a glass. I usually always have a glass of wine. Prosecco I like to have a lot. I don't want to say I grew up with that, but I never grew up around a lot of alcohol, but we always had, you know, something like wine or something like that around. It just makes it fun, I feel like, having a glass.
Yeah, for sure. I'm assuming that you watch cooking shows too to get some ideas and new recipes and whatnot.
I do. You know what's really funny is I always watched cooking, like Food Network was my thing forever. I loved Jada, Ina Gar. I watched all of them. Now I watch YouTube nonstop, like nonstop cooking videos of all different types of food too. My food always ends up being somewhat Italian. I can't help it. It just, it just, whatever it is, even if it was like a Mexican dish, somehow I throw something Italian.
Yeah.
I have no self-control.
I can't cook like anything outside of Italian, honestly. Like I don't think I could cook Chinese or Spanish.
No, I'm telling you, every time I do, it becomes something. It's like I'm like, oh, let me just put some lemon in. Let me put some parsley. And then it's just a regular Italian dish. So
let's change course a little bit while you're stirring that up. Talk about your fashion experience. You've been doing fashion. You've been a fashion expert for a long time now. How did you get into that?
A long time. I went to school for business management. I went to Wagner College for business management. And I always had a dream of opening a boutique. It was like my lifelong thing. I used to write it out in notebooks, like how the boutique would be, what it would look like. And when I graduated from college, I went and worked for my dad for about 2 years until I was 24. He has a commercial construction business. So I went and did that. He's an entrepreneur. So I got a lot of that business, yeah, from him. I mean, till to this day, it's like how I get all my, you know, my backbone of like career is because of seeing that all the time growing up.
Yeah.
I opened a boutique in Verona, New Jersey, and I had that for about 7 years. And while I was in my boutique, I had a lot of brands that I was working with, mostly accessories, jewelry, handbags. And I kept trying to figure out how to get bigger, how to grow my own brand, and then also how to grow the brands that I was selling. You know, how can I make this handbag designer get bigger? And to benefit both of us, the best way was to get in publications, to get in magazines. That was my first step. And then the second step was, okay, I need more. And that's when it led into TV. I started doing, I actually had a really amazing opportunity on local TV. It was probably only a year into having my boutique on Fox News.
Nice.
They came and there was a product I was selling and they wanted to feature it. It was my very first TV experience. I had no idea. It was over in 5 minutes.
So wait, so like they interviewed you, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They actually came to my house because I didn't know how it worked. So I had them come to my house. This actually
moved up towards your front door, like with big ass cameras.
Yes. And you know what's even more funny is not many people have heard this story because I don't really tell it that much. And it ties so well into cooking right now. Being from an Italian family, obviously aunts and uncles and everybody wanted to come over because they heard TV was coming to my house.
Yeah.
Wait, my dad had a whole food, like, catered thing.
Oh my God. Just imagine.
Of like all the Pellegrino set up, you know, like a cheese and prosciutto platter, all this stuff for like a camera guy and a reporter. I didn't know who was coming.
Everybody like on the front lawn, you had like lounge chairs and like cigars and like
literally in my kitchen. Like my aunt was I don't even know. I had a lot of family that came. Little did I know how a TV interview would go is they want to be fast. They want to be in and out. They literally came into the house in less than 5 minutes. We filmed the segment. They were out. The food, luckily we all eat. So the food was basically for us.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since that day, like I will always remember because now going on sets and doing these interviews, they're so fast.
Yeah.
But it was the funniest thing. It was my first experience. I didn't know, how it went down.
Nervous? Were you like shaking, like nervous? And
no, I was actually, I think that's when I knew that I wanted to do it more. That's how I decided that I love the boutique, but this would be the next step eventually, to do just TV. I really loved it. I loved everything about being in front of the camera. I loved just getting to talk and show off, a product. And then, I obviously we sold a lot. At the time when we were doing this was my first, I think it was like, I don't even know, 2007. And everything was still really good on TV. People were paying attention to TV, people were buying. I had just launched my website, so I didn't even have a way to sell my stuff was only being sold in stores. I was just transitioning to online because I needed a way to sell the product.
Yeah.
And the best feeling was seeing the brand get excited to be on TV and giving them an opportunity that they would have never had before.
Mm-hmm.
So it benefited me. I promoted my Belladonna and got to see that get exposure. But at the same time, it was like,
what's the Belladonna?
Yeah.
Belladonna.
What?
What's
Belladonna.
the Belladonna?
Yeah, exactly. Which to this day I still get called. That's still like what everybody refers to me as. I'm gonna put these tomatoes in because this is good. So I took the tomatoes out. I'm putting them in. They're gonna cook.
Oh wait, so I just got so confused. So Belladonna, that was the name of your brand.
Yes, and my store.
Okay, but was
and
there
I still have that
particular product that stood out that made the media come over there?
Oh, you really want to know? So here's the thing. This question is what I try to avoid because it's the most bizarre thing that I was selling at the time, and I need to give a backstory to it.
Oh God.
You're gonna be mad. No, no. Everybody
I
likes
knew that was coming though, right?
Yeah, I knew it. I was trying to just go
Just
around
dodge it. Yeah, yeah.
So at the time, everybody, J-Lo was like in videos and everything, and everybody wanted to look good in jeans. They wanted like, their butt to look good in jeans. So there were these things called bubble bands, and you would wear them. I honestly just sold them because they were so popular. Mm-hmm. You would wear them around the top of your leg, and in jeans, they would make your butt look really nice. So they were selling out of my store like crazy. Everybody was buying them. They were just flying out. Fox found out that I was selling them locally. They were excited. They wanted to know more about it. They came, and that was what the interview was about. Nice. But it's crazy. Like, I still have the video and that interview. And anytime someone asks me, I'm like, I can't believe this is my first TV experience that I have to show.
I mean, that's,
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Did guys wear that too?
I mean, I'm sure now. I'm sure at this point, anyone can wear it.
Anyway,
the brand is still doing really good. We sold, I believe it was like 86 pairs of them. It was amazing. I packaged up and sold everything myself. So I had to keep calling the brand to reorder them. I remember orders were coming in through my email because I didn't yet have my e-commerce site set up yet to be able to process orders directly. So I was processing all the orders just through email.
Wow.
It was nuts. It was a really, really, really amazing experience. I don't think I could have ever replicated that. I don't think it would ever be the same to do that, but it was a really awesome experience. It was the greatest way to have a boutique and get on TV.
How long did you have the boutique for?
So I had the boutique for almost like 8 years. I had it for a while. It was great. I loved it. To this day, when I passed, it was funny because this was my sister the other day, and we saw a place. I was down the shore, and we saw a place that was available to rent, and I said, how cool would it be to open up another boutique? There was something about that experience that I really did love. It will always be like a part of me.
You would never go.
It made me grow in every way possible. I am not.
Would you go back to it though? Like, would you open up another one?
I would consider it. There was a lot of commitment to that, to having a boutique and being there and being available and dealing with customers. And I really had like a big dream and to get out into the world in a lot of like a bigger way. Yeah. And so having the boutique, I just felt like it kept me
at one spot.
Yeah, even though it didn't have to, and maybe now it would be different. I just felt like it really kept me so in one place. I had to be there. A lot of my time was spent there. The overhead was insane to have a boutique. That was
in Verona. I'm assuming it was what on.
I was on Bloomfield Ave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on Bloomfield Ave across from the park, and it was. I loved it. I mean, I loved everything about it, and it was sad.
You were kind of near. What is it? Valley Regency? No, or.
I was near. Let's see. I don't know if you know Anthony Roberts' salon. I was over by him. I was on there's a bridge that goes over the lake that goes literally Verona Park. I was right across from Verona Park.
Got it.
So I mean, I loved it. I was it was a very hard thing to decide to let it go, especially when you have when you have a dream in business and you make it come true, and you sit there. I remember sitting. I had these windows, and I remember sitting and looking out these windows and noticing, everything about it and saying, am I making the worst decision of my life? Am I, I have all these TV opportunities now. I was in every magazine. My products were in Elle, in Glamour. I got featured in Vogue Italia. I mean, there was just everything I, wanted. and I knew it was going in a good direction, but I was still like, am I making the right decision?
It was your baby, and it felt like weird, you know?
Yeah. And but that's at the same time, I think if you don't, sorry, my mom just called. Uh-oh. Well, that's typical, right?
Oh, man.
I think if you don't take a chance and pivot in business or make a change, it's also when you get stuck.
Yeah.
And that's scary too, because you don't want to be stuck, you know?
That's kind of like the overall theme of this pandemic. Like every business owner I've talked to, it's like, you know, it's either you're going to pivot and change and get with the times of doing Zoom calls and interacting and connecting with people this way, or you're going to get stuck and eventually just push yourself out of business.
Absolutely. And I really think I could have felt some of that happening, you know. It would have kept me small. I could have easily had a good business, you know, whatever, years later, running and selling product and working with my, you know, I loved everybody that came. You get to know everyone that comes in. You know, I had this older woman, and I miss her to this day. She would come in to buy little gifts for her granddaughters, and they were like teenagers. And she would be she's like, you know what to give them, just tell. And I would pick out the stuff, and she would package it up. And every time she was so excited to come in and get this stuff. And then I had these, you know, younger girls that came in with their moms and spent so much money, and just, it was like, I was making their dreams come true too, you know, to come in and go shopping. So
moving away from that, how has this whole pandemic situation changed business for you?
A lot. You know, for me, it slowed down. It definitely slowed down. I work in TV mostly, and I work with brands. So the two things that I do is I go on TV and I feature a lot of brands. And some of it is, if a brand is hiring me to go on as like their spokesperson, that's how I'm paid. If I choose to pitch stories, those are usually not paid, and those are more for exposure, but I love doing those because it allows me to build a relationship with the TV, allows me to build a relationship with the brands, and eventually we all work together no matter what. I'm turning this pasta water on. That's slowed down a lot, completely, the TV. Yeah. And the same with some of the brands. A lot of them had to stop, because if they're not making money from what they're selling, you know, from their products, how could they pay me? My business and what I do is really built on, you know, it's a luxury, what I am. To hire someone like me, to consult with them and to put them on TV and to work with them in their branding and content. I mean, that's a luxury. That's not a part of a business plan that is necessity. And I mean, that kind of ties into everything, you know, necessary business. And unfortunately, I felt that a lot. But I always look at things as a way to grow and change and make myself, you know, I really had an opportunity to focus on my brand more and I always wanted to do more YouTube. I have my YouTube following, I have about 10,000 subscribers. So I knew I had an audience there that I really wanted to continue to grow. Mm-hmm. And my, you know, social following and all of that. And I never really put the time into it. And I said, well, when else can I do that? Now.
Yeah.
And it's given me that opportunity, even for my blog, and it's really been good. And honestly, I think I underestimated myself, where I felt like I needed to rely on just TV exposure and all the stuff that I was always doing. And some brands now are coming to me and saying, hey, can we work with you on a small scale and maybe be featured on your blog or be featured on your YouTube? And can we figure out how to collaborate that way? It's much smaller, but who knows? You know, it could go in a new direction that I didn't see.
So, I mean, pretty much you've adapted, right? Now you're paying more attention to your own brand.
Yes.
Things have slowed down, obviously, with the other brands, but again, it gives you that opportunity right now to really focus on your brand and grow it, you know? So
completely. And I'm thankful for that. Like, I am so happy that I'm able to do that. And honestly, it's funny because I was just saying, the part of the cooking, I've always done it on my Instagram. I have a few videos on my YouTube, and I'm amazed by it because it's something that I really do love. I never thought of it in a direction, and I don't know if I am still, but I never thought of it in a business type of way.
Maybe you're starting to now, or are you starting?
I have to say a little bit, because this is what's crazy. You don't realize, especially with social media now, what people are paying attention to. And my DM messages, my email messages, they're all asking for recipes and can you do this? And I have a olive oil brand, would you mind doing? And I'm like, wait.
What is happening right now?
If I tell you, I'm literally just like, oh, okay. Like, and you go with it, you know. I think if
there's an idea, you probably thought of it already, but maybe couple fashion with food and make like a fashion food type of unique.
I'm thinking, I mean, that's what I'm feeling. And I feel like fashion in the kitchen would be such a good direction. I mean, I would never want to give up fashion. It's ironic to me that it's happening this way. And you know, I feel like that's another thing. You can be stylish and look good and feel good in the kitchen. I think a lot of people tend to think in the kitchen you have to be, you know, like your hair up and you're a mess. And I'm usually in heels and I'm always dressed up and I'm, you know, I love it. I think you can
do something with that angle from that, you know, that approach. Something
I
haven't really seen a show out there that's like, you know, fashion and cooking all at once, right?
No.
Either one or the other. So I don't know.
Exactly. Might be time to go in that direction.
Sure.
But that's what I like about business.
Yeah.
Is that if you keep your eyes open, there's always opportunities. Mm-hmm. Always.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to take them, and you can't be scared. Like, you know, I could easily have said to brands like, no, I don't do that, or I don't know if I feel comfortable, or even this, you know, normally it would just be an interview and this is like adding another element in. Mm-hmm. But if you don't try it out and you don't see how it goes, you'll never know.
We've been totally ignoring that other element. How's the sauce coming right now?
I know, right?
It's so much fashion that we forgot about the whole.
No, I have my eye on it. It's cooking up really nicely. Let me see if I could show you. I'm actually gonna.
You keep it on medium heat?
I am. It's on a medium heat, and I have it covered just so that way the sauce doesn't cook down too much. It is a thicker. Let me see if I can show you without burning myself.
So typically the sauce goes for what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
Yeah, this sauce is a really easy, quick sauce. If you want to let it sit longer, you can. But honestly, when I make something like this, it's about 20, 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it's just like, let's see if you can see it. It's a little chunkier.
You're using plum tomatoes, right?
I am, yeah. I chopped them up a little bit so that way we would be ready, but plum tomatoes, yes.
But you
San Marzano.
Say that again?
San Marzano.
San Marzano.
Yeah. Yeah. You say it right.
But you can use crushed, right? No?
Do I? I know I do. It depends on what sauce I'm making. You know, it really does depend.
For this particular one, I'm saying, can somebody use crushed?
Yes, you can use crushed.
Okay.
And, you know, I feel like, so my thing with cooking, and I think this is what makes it more fun, is I try not to, even writing the recipe, it's like I'm always hesitant because I don't want it to be where anybody feels like confined to anything. Mm-hmm. Make it your own. Is there a proper recipe? Yeah, maybe there is. But the way to make it your own is to say like, hey, I like when tomatoes are pureed and I like it really smooth. Then do that. It's okay. It may not be your traditional sauce that they say in the recipe, but it's what you're going to want to eat and what you're going to enjoy. Why would you stand here cooking something that you don't want to, you know, enjoy at the end of the day? I'm putting the rest of the grappa.
I like being creative with my cooking too. Like I'll do like a bolognese, but I'll throw like sausage in there as well.
Oh, nice.
And sometimes I'll do like bolognese, but like a creamy version like it's weird. Like my like old school Italian. And
actually, in northern Italy, where are you from in Italy?
My dad's from Bades.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So
that's where this is from. I have some family there. That's where the grappa came from.
Nice. So yeah, when I did my own version of bolognese, I sent a picture to my father, and he's like, "What is this shit?" Like, you know, he was like, bolognese is supposed to be dark red. What is this?
Yes.
I'm like, I put like a little bit of heavy cream. I wanted to, do my own version of it. He's like, that's not how it's done.
Oh my! It's funny because it does. Like if you go there, it's very specific.
Yeah.
And then in northern Italy, I have a girlfriend from northern Italy, and oh my god, I can't remember the town that she's from, but she makes her bolognese, and sometimes she puts not heavy cream but just milk in it, which I was very surprised by because I don't know it for ever having like you said.
I do that too. Like I'll either put like milk, but if I have heavy cream, I'll put heavy cream. A little bit.
Yeah, well, heavy cream gives it that.
Yeah.
Really.
A little nice little kick.
You like that? I'm putting the pasta into the pasta water boiling, and I'm using orecchietti. You can use any.
Or is it orecchiette? I say orecchiette. I don't know.
You know, it's tough because if I say my typical Italian, like from the South, everything is cut off, I feel like.
Yeah.
But when I talk to people from the North or that do proper Italian, they're orecchietti. You know, it's the full, you have to say the whole entire thing. So now I'm cooking. I never thought I was be cooking professionally. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know if I use my New Jersey Italian words, mozzarella. Or,
that's how I say it. Mozzarella, mozzarella.
You know, it's a touchy subject.
How do you say eggs?
Eggs?
Say like I say eggs. I don't know.
Eggs.
Like an
eggs.
Eggs.
You're right, eggs. I don't know now.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Eggs. I don't know. How about coffee? Is that the same? Can we say coffee's coffee?
Coffee's coffee. Going back to the pasta though, is orecchiette like the go-to pasta for this sauce, or can people use others?
No, penne or rigatoni is. That's why I said this is one of my favorite pastas. I love it. I have had it in a restaurant that did use orecchietti, but most of the time it's a rigatoni or a penne. Because this is very similar to a penne sauce. It's basically making it with grappa and without the cream in it. Like I said, right now, if you wanted to,
grappa is pretty much a substitute for the cream.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Does it still have that, like, I guess, not creamy texture, but like
it will, because I'm going to use some of the pasta water. So I'm going to put the pasta water in here. It's going to give it a really, really like velvety, creamy texture to it because of the starch in the pasta water. Okay. And it's surprising because it's a good way. I mean, listen, I love, like a good like cacio e pepe or a dish that's like cheesy and creamy. But every once in a while, I like to try some recipes that still have a lot of flavor, that don't necessarily have to be really heavy, especially with like summertime. I feel like,
You have something else cooking? Do you have something else cooking or?
No. I'm at my shore house.
Got it.
And my sister and her fiance are here normally, but my dad decided to come down tonight.
Oh, okay.
So.
Was he listening? Was he trying to chime in with like the whole Italian phrases and how to say things?
Yeah.
I heard it before, right? Yeah.
Yeah, did you?
I think so. Oh yeah.
I was like this. Everybody stay out of the kitchen. Give me an hour, please.
You know what the problem is? They smell the good cooking. The aroma.
They do.
And that's
You don't think that like right after this they're gonna be sitting right here like with forks
when you're cooking something, you can't even smell it. Like half the time, like I can't even smell what I'm cooking, right? I'll have to
No.
like, leave the room and then come back in to actually smell what I'm cooking.
And like someone will come in and be like, "Oh, it smells so good," and you're like, "I don't smell it."
Yeah.
No, it's the same.
That's a thing. That's an actual thing then.
What that? Well, I guess because you're around it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't really get the smell of it.
So
The pasta's almost done. As soon as that's done, this will be done.
so onions, grappa, plum tomatoes. What else? Other seasonings that you threw?
A little bit of fresh basil.
Okay.
I put in. I put a little fresh parsley chopped up. I put a bay leaf in. This just gives it a little extra flavor, but make sure you take that out.
Eat that.
You don't want to eat that. I'm gonna put some some dried oregano. Actually, I'll put it in right now because I didn't do that. Usually I put that in before. And then I have some hot seeds.
Okay.
I don't like a lot of these. Like my family, they will go like, they'll put like a spoonful in. I don't do that.
Just a punch or pinch.
Yes, a tiny pinch, a half of a pinch. I don't want to pinch it though because I don't want my fingers to burn, so I'm going to use a spoon.
But is it a punch or is it a pinch?
A pinch, not a punch. A punch, what would be a punch? Like a whole handful?
Well, you ever seen Donnie Brasco?
I have.
Yeah, that's.
I haven't seen it in a long time though, but I have heard that.
Punch or pinch?
Punch or pinch. Is
Punch?
that like?
Did I say punch? I said pinch.
Why can't I think of the scene though?
It's Al Pacino and Johnny Depp.
No, yes. I haven't seen it in so long though. It's probably been like,
it's one of my favorites.
5 or 6 years. It's a good one.
Yeah.
That one and what's the other one where he's cutting the garlic really thin?
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Yep.
Yeah, classics.
Classics for sure.
Classics. Oh.
So.
Almost done.
Almost done. Okay. And
almost done.
You have the pasta. I almost said pasta. Southern accent all of a sudden.
Nice. So your whole family, you said, is from Body.
Yes. Yep.
Do you still have family there?
No. I mean, I probably do, but I like nobody.
Not that you stay in touch with.
Yeah.
Yep. My dad actually, our family in Italy, he like reconnected with them. We didn't grow up seeing them, and he found them. Like he had people here that knew them, and like he went in what?
Like an ancestry test.
No. Yeah, he was like ancestry.com. He's like, oh, I have family in Italy. Fine. No. Someone knew them there, and I think in like 2001 or something, he connected with them, and we didn't go with him when my dad went the first time, and then we went like, I don't know, a year later and met them, and they made rabbit, and we were like, making rabbit for us.
They make all types of weird shit over there. I had we were on an olive farm, and
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we sat down for dinner or lunch, whatever it is over there, and I had meat that looked like a steak. And then after I was done eating it, my father goes, "You know what that was, right?" I'm like, "Steak." He's like, "That's horse."
No.
I had horse meat. Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you do when you had it? Did it taste good?
That out. It tasted like steak. I mean, like I didn't even realize.
You couldn't really tell.
Yeah. It tasted good. It was really good.
See, I don't trust it. That's why when I go there, I really pretty much eat pasta, pizza. I eat fish because I know, like, I could see that it's a piece of fish.
Yeah.
But I don't eat sea urchin. What are they called? I can't think of the name of them. They're lariche. Do you ever have them? They're like the little prickly. They're like, they eat those there like crazy.
No, I pass on that.
Yeah, no. I actually was never a seafood person until like maybe 10 years ago.
Gotcha.
I didn't even eat seafood, so my Italian family was
my
like.
dad's town, it's like all fish. It's like.
Yeah, but because Body's on the water. You're like right there.
Chaotic. Yep.
The small town that I know, actually I visited there, and I went to Molfetta. That's where like a lot of people.
That's where my father's from, Molfetta.
Yeah, I guess that's a lot of people here that came here to New Jersey were from there, from Molfetta. So small, but beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, oh. All right, I think I'm gonna put
literally
pasta.
all they eat, fish, and it's like
I
remember the last time I went, I was just like, we had like a late lunch, like a 2:30, 3 o'clock. Late lunch, they call it, whatever. And we had like fish soup, right? And I'm like looking around, I'm like, is there more food coming? Because this ain't gonna do it for me. like
I can't do this.
Like, that was it. Like, literally fish soup and that's it. And then I was still hungry. And then a couple hours go by. I'm like,
because then they don't eat until like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
right?
But like you don't have a dinner. Like a dinner like we have. They don't have dinner there.
Like a sandwich.
It was driving me nuts. I was like, 9 o'clock again, like rolled around. I'm like,
starving.
Are we eating?
And
like,
nothing's open. Everything closes.
Yeah.
I'm not like a big like go to sleep I can't take naps. Like I just don't. Mm-hmm. And whenever you go there, like that they do. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah. It's a different culture. It's a different way of life. Yeah.
It is. I mean, I get it. You know, it's cool. It's nice.
I remember one night, like I was so cranky. I was hangry actually. And my father's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "I didn't eat anything. What do you mean?"
I'm starving.
I want to eat. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, anything. Like, can we go somewhere right now? It's like 9 o'clock at night. So, like, me and him are like the only ones, like not the only ones, but the only ones walking to like get food at that time of the night, right?
And did you find there's stuff open, right, at that time?
Like a chicken rotisserie place.
Oh my god!
And like, I'm just like ordering a bunch of food. Like all the Italians are looking at me like, "What's wrong with this guy?"
What is going on? It's like a sushi place in Italy. It's
man.
crazy. It's hard, like you don't realize how American you become until you go there and you're like, oh, all right. I guess I am. I guess I'm not really. They always want to everybody, and I honestly, I wish I spoke Italian. I can say, I can say a few words, and when I'm there, I get by. I don't really speak it. And everyone there always assumes that, because of because of Del Russo and I guess my sister and I look Italian. They just start talking like in Italian, and I'm like,
well, you don't understand. You understand.
Actually, I can understand a little bit more than I could speak it. I think I'm hesitant with speaking it because it's like you don't know if you're going to say the wrong words, so then I just don't say it. But I have a couple of friends who try to speak to me in Italian because they're like, you could do it. I know you know how to speak. But
like my father's dialect, the Molfettese dialect. It's so
you guys, that dialect, it's like Chinese.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's not right to say. But it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's so choppy.
I know.
The very first time I ever heard it, I was like, I don't know. This is not, I can't even get a word.
Andiamo is let's go in normal Italian, right?
Right.
And in his dialect, it's like shimanin.
Yeah.
Shimanin. Like, where did that come from?
Like, where?
Yeah,
like,
who came up with these words?
And then when you hear it all in a sentence, like when you hear a whole conversation, it's just like, was that even anything?
You just gotta like walk out of the room at that point.
Yeah. In Hoboken, there's a lot of people from Molfetta, from Body.
Well, that's where my dad's family went to first when they came over here.
Yeah, I guess that's where they all, like a lot of people immigrated to.
Yep.
The sauce is done.
The sauce.
We're done. I put the pasta in. I'm putting the pasta water in right now. I'm putting like a ladle. Let me see if I can show you. Like that much pasta sauce in, pasta water in.
We just gave the audience a whole Italian lesson.
Really. I know. They're like, really? I thought this was business. Why? They're gonna be so confused.
That's what happens though on this show. We go.
It's good though. I feel like it's more interesting. I mean, watching other episodes of you, I know Vincenzo.
Yeah.
And I just think it's interesting, like when you do hear more than just like you know, like a cookie cutter
type of stuff.
business. I mean, you know, I think you learn more when you do talk this way.
Yeah.
From businesses and owners and, you know, how people are doing things. I feel like you hear it from a different perspective than just being interviewed basic questions, you know,
Yeah, no, for
which
sure.
is very nice. It's in the orecchietti's in here. Make sure that it's al dente because you are going to cook it in the tomato in the sauce a little bit more, and you don't want them to be soft and get softer in here.
Yeah.
So they can be a little bit more, you know, al dente. And now I'm just mixing them in.
Do you put any grated cheese or any?
Oh yeah, I have that right here. This is where I go like crazy. I can't control myself. If I'm not putting any cream or anything in here, I have to go heavy on the cheese. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the hot seeds in now. Not a lot. A pinch, not a punch. I'm lowering the heat. I'm gonna put a little of the cheese in the pot with the pasta, and then obviously I'm gonna put it on top of mine too because I need it.
Yeah.
But this makes the sauce really like nice and creamy.
That sauce without cheese, like
no, I don't think I can have any without cheese. I need it.
What's your favorite pasta dish?
Oh God, I could eat pasta every night, so that's a hard one. Honestly, I like taking cherry tomatoes and making a really fresh sauce with just like basil, tomatoes, olive oil, and putting that on top of pasta. Like that's probably my favorite. Really simple. It's hard to find a very simple like pasta at a restaurant like that.
Yeah.
But I do look for it. That's usually my favorite. Or I like I like orecchietti. So I like orecchietti with broccoli rabe, sausage, that whole dish. I love it.
It's so crazy. I just made that last night.
Really? I love it. That's like
I made oh boy. Was it rigatoni?
Oh yeah.
With broccoli rabe, sausage, and mushrooms.
Oh, so good. It's just like
wine, you know.
See, I like those kind of sauces. Like if there's no tomatoes, and I love just like a wine, and I love those flavors. I don't know if you know. Do you know the restaurant Grotto? It's up in Mars Plains.
Yep, right on 10. Yeah.
They make a really good one. They actually make a. I think they put chicken in it too. They do it with like the chicken is like small pieces of chicken that's like breaded in the sauce with the sauce. Yes, with the sausage and with broccoli rabe. And it's like a white wine sauce. It's probably my favorite dish that they
mixing chicken with sauce.
Yeah, they're the only ones who I've ever seen chicken mixed in with it. But
sounds good though.
It's really good. All right, I'm putting it in the plate.
Here we go.
Here we go. Can you guys see it?
Looks really good.
Now
arrabbiata look a little bit, right? Like,
yes, because of the tomato. So if you did more of a crushed tomato, it would have obviously the sauce would be a little bit thinner. But I like the tomatoes. I think my dad always liked tomatoes like this, so I kind of grew up with him making sauce different. But I'm gonna let me move you guys over a little bit. This is salt, cheese.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I'm hungry. I just ate. I'm hungry again.
I know. Right? So I have basil.
Okay.
A little fresh. I mean, I gotta make it look nice, you know. Right?
Yep.
And that's it.
All the appearance is everything. Beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Can you guys see it? Oh my gosh.
Bring it closer. Bring it a little bit closer. Yes. Okay. Smell it.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, I'm pressing buttons. Can you smell it?
Yeah, it looks really good.
As it slides off the dish onto the
Wait, you're all the way down the shore, so there's no way I'm gonna get any of that.
Nah, I know. And usually, so I'm down here because, with everything going on, I was like, I gotta go. At least down here, you can kind of
Gotta go to my
get
house.
away. Yeah, I'm in Chatham, and I'm like in a townhouse in Chatham, so it's like you can't really get out as much. So
what's the situation with the beaches? Are they like open?
So it's weird. Every town is different, but I'm in Spring Lake, and Spring Lake is opening the beach, I think, on May 23rd. The beaches are all open, but the boardwalk, like to walk on, is opening. But Belmar is open this weekend, I think, and Seagirt. So like they're the two towns on both sides of me, and they're both open.
Okay. Because I saw something yesterday about how the beaches are going to open this summer, but you're not allowed to swim. You're not allowed to sit down. You're not allowed to bring chairs. You're not allowed to bring umbrellas.
No, that's crazy. I don't know. The notice that, because we just bought our beach badges literally yesterday, and when I was online buying them, it said you can go to the beach, you can sit on the beach, and they usually don't. In Spring Lake, every beach is different, but in Spring Lake they don't let you bring food on the beach, and they're allowing it. So I don't know. It's weird. I think each mayor, whatever, is doing which is making things crazy. I mean, New Jersey itself is
it's one of the worst states in my opinion.
Ever.
I mean, we follow New York's lead. Like, obviously, New York is a big city and has a lot of people, too many people, in my opinion, and we're just following what they're doing, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If
they extend the lockdown, then we're going to extend ours. You know.
But it's just crazy, like, economically. It just doesn't
make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. I mean, I'm not even against people being sick. It's just, you can't survive, you know.
Let's take a bite of the orecchie with grappa.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna fork out.
We keep getting
sidetracked by quarantining. I don't even know what. Okay, let's see. I don't want to take like a lot because I'll be like a mess on here. I'll take a little bit. It's really hot. Look at that. Can you guys see the steam?
I can see it, yeah.
Maybe that's like part of it. You can't.
Do you like the basil just for like display, or do you actually like?
Oh no, I'll eat it.
Okay.
But I won't eat it probably like that.
Gosh.
It's so good. I'm not trying to get myself, but literally, you taste. There's like this, because of the grappa. There's an underlying flavor that seems to bring out all the other flavors. That's what I really like about it, and it just, it's amazing. It's a nice touch. I would tell anyone to give it a try, even if you're not following the recipe and you're just making your, a light sauce. Throw in a little grappa, even vodka. If you don't have grappa, you can use vodka. It might taste a little bit different, but it'll still give you that flavor that this has. And
you get the grappa. I think you mentioned it earlier, but where do you usually get the grappa?
So I got this one from a friend in Italy, but you can buy it in most liquor stores. There's another, I don't think I have it here. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name, but you'll see most of them, it's a clear alcohol. So it's usually most of them are in a clear bottle, and I've seen it at most liquor stores, and they're open. So should be able to find it. I can actually, if anybody wants a link to anything or has questions, I can easily. You
gotta stop eating right now. I just can't.
I know. Don't mind me. I'm just eating pasta.
Oh my God.
Can I just also add that my family, we had dinner before that. We usually eat dinner like around 8:00, but I was like, you guys got to eat dinner before this because I got stuff to do. So I did have dinner already, and now.
You just cooked for yourself, right? Or are they gonna eat too?
They're probably going to eat some of this. Yeah. Well, do you want to know what else I have sitting over here? Because my friend gave me a loaf of bread yesterday.
Okay.
It's waiting for them when I'm done.
Bruschetta.
I had to make some because I had a whole loaf of bread and I didn't want it to go bad. So
like the traditional bruschetta, like onions, tomatoes, olive oil, a little basil.
Basil, salt, no pepper, salt, This olive oil I also just got. So olive oil is so important. I should have probably said that, but making sure it's extra virgin olive oil and where it's from. I always check to see if it has this little DOP on the top.
What's that stand for?
Yeah. This, I always forget. I think it's Department of Extra Virgin Olive Oil. I forgot what the P is. I forgot it. Wait. I should know because this is not the bottle that I got there, but we went to an oil farm in Italy last summer and they explained everything to us, like how you need that marking. And it's like their department that makes sure that how the olives are grown, that they are grown the right way and they're picked off the trees. And it's not mixed with any other, because a lot of olive oils, if you don't check, they could be mixed with other olives from like other countries.
Got it.
So.
What's like the best brands to use?
Oh, so this one is Cassiano. This one is from a small little store, and actually this one from Gargiulo. This is another one you can get. I think you can get this one in Whole Foods actually.
Gargiulo.
Yeah, this is a really good one. This is actually an organic one, but I can't even tell you. Like I don't even know. There's all different ones. I buy olive oil.
It's like a big Italian kitchen you got over there.
Yeah, I can't.
Olive oil, you got bread, you got pasta, you got basil.
You got fresh basil.
What is it? Marzano, tomatoes.
San Marzano tomatoes. Yeah, you know.
That looks delicious though.
Oh, I feel bad.
Yeah.
I feel guilty.
Let's change the subject. Let's go back to fashion.
Switch it up.
I'm talking about food right now. I'm just getting angry.
I know. Go get a snack.
So I guess like, what's the future look like for you? Like after all this BS is done with?
Yeah, for real. I have a lot of things in mind. I'm always on the move. I'm always, continuing to move forward. I've always had a dream of having my own TV show. It's just been forever in my mind. I know that it's something that over the years, it would take time and I needed to develop what I wanted. A lot of people were like, just go for it. Producers, people, pitch your idea. And I could probably do that, but I knew the timing had to be right. And I think now, especially with all of this going on, I'm feeling like the timing is right. And I do think bringing in the food part to it would be fun. Originally, my idea for my show was to take a show and find places that people didn't know about, like boutiques and these little hidden spots to shop in. All around, it started with the country, but then I was like, I could do, because in Italy, when we go to Italy, when we visit, I'm always looking for these boutiques. Like, my favorite thing is to shop in boutiques and find, these shoes that maybe are €40, not expensive, but are amazing and you can't get them here. And have a show kind of talking about that.
So a show kind of highlighting different boutiques that are.
Yeah, or brands, and doing interviews and going in. But my idea was to make it an experience for the viewer. So it wasn't just like me in front of the camera talking to you, but actually from like a first person kind of point of view, maybe with like cameras following, the viewer feeling like they're me walking in and doing that. Also talking directly to the camera too. But I mean, this is technical. It's just how I think because of all the.
I have a couple ideas rolling in my head, and I mean, you can take them or leave them. Some of my ideas are good, and some of them are. But just off of what you just said, like I'm thinking of diners, drive-ins, and dives with Guy Fieri. How he goes to different restaurants. That could be like you in a fashion sense, going to different boutiques, right?
Yes.
And then I was also thinking, with tying the food into everything, like a cook show, like a traditional cook show. Right? You're cooking up different dishes, but then in that lag time where you're waiting for things to cook, you bring on like models, like a runway type of thing, showcasing
like it.
brands and different fashion.
Yes.
And
that's a good idea.
Once they're done, they go back in, and then you continue cooking.
And then they come back out and eat the food.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Get
That's
tomato
a good
sauce
idea.
all over themselves.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's a good idea. I like that. That's good. It's recorded. Remember, we'll always remember that you had that.
Yeah. Yep. Wait, shit, I forgot to start recording.
Imagine.
Anyway.
Make it all over again.
I think that would be dope.
That would be cool. I mean, I would watch it for sure, because that's like,
I don't see anything like it out there. I mean,
no.
I'm not really on the lookout for fashion shows. That's not really my cup of tea. But yeah.
Well, you did. Wait. You did do. What's the store that you go in? You went into a store. You interviewed. I recall.
Payback.
I think
this is payback. I brought up the product that got you attention.
Yeah, I think you know a little bit about fashion. I think.
Yeah. That goes on my.
It's good.
My shame reel.
We all have one. No, I'm kidding.
So I do know a little bit about fashion. Yeah. Anyway, let's avoid that topic. But I think that would be a great idea. And considering you, like you said, you have the connections already.
Yeah. I feel like I have to go with like Netflix. I feel like that has to be the direction. I watch a lot of shows on there. I don't watch a lot of like shows, but I watch a lot of the cooking ones that they have. I'm drawing a blank on the main cooking show that I love. That was like it was done amazing. It's like the most well-known one on there. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Like the cameras. The music, it starts with that like classical music. I can't think of it.
Is it a newer one or? No,
they have a few seasons. It's so good. I'm like totally drawing a blank right now, and I can't Google it because I'm using my phone. So.
I can't think of it.
But Netflix does an amazing job with like producing show. I mean, I know they don't do it, but they bring on shows that are just incredibly done. And I feel like that is where the direction that I need to go in. After having the TV experience, I feel like that's where I would go.
I agree, but like whether it's Netflix or like a channel on TV, I don't think it really matters.
No, it doesn't. It wouldn't, because that would still transfer over to Netflix or whatever anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Stop.
I can't stand here with it in front of me, not you.
I'm like one of those little kids. Like if you're eating in front of me, like
it's not right.
Like grab whatever you eat and just eat it. Like, Anyway, Dawn, like what's like your final thoughts, like last piece of advice maybe for business owners that are going through this difficult time, because everyone's in the boat pretty much.
I would say you're gonna have ups and downs no matter what you do in any business. No business is always going to be positive, and you're never. I don't think you ever know a definite direction. You have to have a direction. You have to know where you're going. You have to set your mind to something. But from that point, be ready to make changes and be open-minded and dream big. I've said it always. I'll say it forever. Dream as big as you possibly could dream, because those dreams will come true one day.
Love it.
So.
Love it. No, I mean, I'm a big dreamer too. And I have so many goals and so many things that I want to do. And, you can't listen to the people that are pretty much putting down those dreams. And I'll have those people.
No. It's true. I mean, you have to just, you have to stick to your mind. Your mind knows, like your gut knows, your mind knows, and stay true to yourself, and everything that you can possibly imagine will happen.
Let's say one more Italian word.
Okay, go.
Father over there. what? Mortadella.
Mortadella. That's how you say it here, right?
I think that's how you say it. Yeah.
Mortadella. Dad, how do you say mortadella?
Mortadella.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
You said it right.
I got it right. You condensed it just to like
More to down.
More to death.
That's like, Americanized.
Yeah. What do you say?
Cannoli.
Wait, how does he say it?
No, he says cannoli. How do you say cannoli? Cannoli? That's American.
But
I don't know how to say it the really Italian way.
You say it is cannoli?
No. Well, that's like American way.
Really?
The American Italian. A ganol.
I never heard of cannoli. No, I never heard of
that. Yeah. It's terrible.
It's ugly.
Cannoli. The worst is when you go into an Italian restaurant, though, and you're not sure if you should say it in the proper Italian way. And when you do say it in the proper Italian way, and then the waiter, they look at you like, I don't know what you're talking about. And you're like, okay, let me just say it the American way.
Oh, my God. How do you say calamari?
Oh, galamad. Calamari.
I hate people that say calamari. It drives me insane.
Calamari? No, I've never said it like that.
It's terrible.
I think the American Italian way is galamad, and the Italian way is calamari.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's proper. I guess,
awesome.
It depends.
It's been awesome. We covered like everything, like
everything.
Culture, Italian food, fashion.
Trips to Italy.
I came up with an idea for your show. I want.
I know. I owe you.
Okay. No, but it was awesome. It was
great.
Like I don't really have a formal introduction or ending, so I just like.
Okay.
Whatever.
Awesome.